about that. We are at a restaurant called the Chef's House, which is like a learning restaurant that's run by George Brown College. And so all of the people here, the servers and the chefs as well, are students. We're actually doing their Winterlicious menu. So Winterlicious is kind of this thing that runs during the winter in Toronto, where they give you kind of value menus at restaurants. Winter is notoriously a slow time for food establishments, and so yeah, it's just trying to get people out of their houses. Finished.
So we went to Chef's House to have dinner, and then after that we went to Pearl Diver to have a dozen of oysters. And I'm now making instant cup noodle like a proud Korean Canadian so that I can have it as my dessert. Oh. This morning she was able to get rush tickets for us to a theater production musical called Six. It's about six wives that Henry VIII had while he was alive. Thank you. Cheers. It tastes like butter cookie. So good. Like shortbread.
Yeah, definitely like baked goods.
Yeah.
So nice. Yeah. Sun is setting.
We're going to have fancy late night snacks, which consists of rosé wine, cheap rosé wine, and A&W burger.
They don't put a lot of the sauce.
Yeah. So it's funny because this late night snack, we are having it after having massive Chinese dinner. Not right after. We met her friend for dinner, and then after that we went to see the musical Six. And then we were kind of hungry, peckish, so we decided to grab a burger on the way home.
There's something really satisfying about getting fast food after like a long day on the weekend.
We're at her parents' place, and they gave us a lot of snacks to nibble on, and we're gonna go for dinner right after this, so it's funny. Every time we come here,
Pre-dinner snack.
yeah, I feel like we get fed so well. So Korean families usually have a lot of kimchi stored in their fridge, and this is Eastern European family household. 7 tubs of
Sour cream.
sour cream. Impressive.
Windows down, scattered clouds, smell of spring outside. Open road, you sitting close. Let's go somewhere far away.
I got that.
Came out of Italy.
They called it a taste around.
Yeah, so Eataly is like a Italian grocery shop, and then they had small like kiosks where they carry different types of food.
Sample-sized foods, but there were 9 stations, and we
10
are
stations.
Oh, 10 stations, and we are stuffed.
So we're gonna go to check out this speakeasy style lounge, and hopefully drinking will wash down the food that we ate.
Yeah.
And look how pretty this is. Come here, come here.
Coming.
Windows down, scattered clouds, smell of spring outside. Open road, you sitting close. Let's go somewhere far away. 'Cause if all I have is you, then I'll be just fine. Just fine.
Yeah,
So good.
yeah.
Like really, it's very strong, but very flavorful and very rich as well.
Not spending with you. So let's go somewhere far away. 'Cause if all I have is you, then I'll be just fine.
Dumplings are already being cooked, so these are not all of the dumplings that we've made. But, these are artworks done by the family. End product: Lunar New Year dinner. So good. And trying dumpling that we made. Oh yeah. It's juicy and soft.